Faster than writing to a letter forum, more thoughtful than angry clickbait, able to discuss the world's first superhero and his cousin in comics, film, TV, and more. It's the Supermaniacs. I'm Fatheree. I am joined by Mike. Mike, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic today. I've had a great super time with a lot of fun things that came to my house.
Yeah.
So that's can't see this. I bought the battle damaged Superman from the movie. It's supposed to be the one where he fights right after he fights the kaiju.
And who made that? That's McFarlane?
Yeah, this is also the McFarlane one. This is basically the alternate to the normal one. Because there's three McFarlane ones. There's this one, the normal one, which is just this one with him looking normal, and the Crypto edition one, which I have, which is the normal one with the Crypto. Tiny Crypto comes with it. And apparently they're re-releasing the Crypto with the Supergirl because they announced that they're doing a Supergirl version of that one as well.
Yeah, but it's gonna be puppy Crypto, right? Or is it gonna be this?
There's a puppy Crypto one and a not puppy Crypto one. So they're because the non puppy Crypto one is supposed to be the ending of the Superman movie because she has her trench coat on.
Right. But speaking of puppy Crypto, you know, he's going to be like the one of the big faces of this year's Supergirl movie.
Yeah, it's very exciting in a lot of ways because Crypto has been the best advertisement for the new DC. Like he is the mascot of what the new DC universe is, to being like, look, this is a world where Crypto the super dog can exist, meaning anything is on the table. We're so used to like the DC universe being like, super powered animals is dumb unless they're Hulk dogs or something. And so this is like, the DC universe is acknowledging its weird, fun roots for the first time, I think, ever, really, when it comes to live action movies.
Yeah, like if Supergirl was a Marvel property, she would work for the government, and Crypto would be one of those like robot dogs. Yeah, that'd be like built by Shield that goes out to help her instead of being an actual dog.
For people who think we're joking, that's literally what happened to Falcon.
Yeah,
literally what happened to him. I'm still pissed by that, by the way.
But I have held off on watching the trailer. I think it came out Tuesday last week, so like 6 days ago. I've been wanting to see it. Luckily I've been busy enough that I haven't had to try to distract myself too hard. But I'm eager to finally see the new trailer for Supergirl. So I'm just going to share the trailer with. I'm sure everyone out there has probably already seen it before now, but if you haven't and you're watching this, then here you go. Here's your first look at the trailer too. But then Mike and I will discuss. I'm sure he already has like tons of thoughts, and I'm sure I'm about to have a lot.
I've got some good ones, yeah.
Here we go.
Hey, I was just touching base to see when you think you might be coming back. You know, I'm just worried that you're not going to find your stride here if you keep going off-world all the time, Kara. I'm worried you're not going to find your people.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, Clark. I have no people. Oh, miss wherever you are, buddy. Crypto and I at least had each other.
Really leaning into the dog and dog owner relationship.
But look,
yeah,
almost by definition runs out. What can I do?
Oh.
Brigands carry the antidote on that person.
So they're actually showing injured Crypto in the trailer.
Yeah.
It's a crime of the Yellow Hills. Who murdered my innocent family.
Just do what I say. And don't die. This does not look like this is gonna end well. For you guys.
Stop. You're hurting my head.
The main man.
Yeah.
Revenge. It won't take your pain away.
Your eyes are beautiful when you cry. A lot of pain, huh? A lot of suffering.
There's no home without you, buddy.
Aren't you the ditz from that dive bar?
Funny. That's what I've been calling you.
Touche.
I love it. We finally have like Lobo dialogue.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And turns out Superman Day is pretty soon.
Yeah, that is coming up. I should know off the top of my head when that is, but
It's on the
that
18th
is
because they keep changing the date.
okay. So that'll be not this approaching Saturday, but the Saturday after that.
Yeah, because it was the first time that it's Superman Day. It was the day Man of Steel came out, so it was like I want to say it was like May or some shit.
Yeah, it's
May
a
or
day
July.
that can move, it can roam the calendar.
Yeah, and so then they moved it to June because I think they thought it was like part of
The Summer of Superman.
No, I think it was because the Action Comics #1 has a June title on it or a June. Date on
Okay.
it, I want to say, and I don't know why they changed it to April now. It's like I don't know.
I don't. They just like they need to do it in the month of April for some like
Superman Day is whatever we want.
business reason. Yeah,
I've
apparently.
I've altered the deal. For you, I've not altered it any further.
Or they should do like a different like Superman Day on a certain day in the United States, but then like a different day in Mexico, like Mother's Day. So like the calendar has to say which country it's in.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny. Okay, so yeah, I'm looking it up to see if I can find anything specific. It looks like they changed it again because it might have actually came out in April. The actual comic itself.
Okay, and it was like the publication date was June. That would make
Yeah.
sense because it's
The
normally
the
a
date
couple
was
months
different.
off. Yeah. I think the reason why
Yeah.
they did that is because publishers wanted it to look newer longer. So if it comes out in April and it says June on it, then, you know, like in August, it looks like, oh, this comic is only like 2 months old.
Yeah, so there's a few reasons for that apparently, but but I'm looking forward to Superman Day. I'm happy that Superman Day exists. I'm curious what they'll come out with for it this year.
Well, they've said
there were big
it'll
marketing
include
pieces.
it's going to include some Supergirl promotional stuff too. So,
Yes, but I'm more curious about like merchandise and stuff because Batman, whenever it's Batman Day, they get fucking a billion and a
tons of merch.
billion
Yeah.
items. It's just enough that makes people lose their minds. Superman back before when Dan Didio was in charge, Superman Day consisted of them throwing us a reprint of Action Comics #1 at least once, and that was it.
Well,
They're like, this is all you
now
get.
we
you
actually
nerd.
have. Yeah, we actually have someone who likes Superman in charge now, and not a guy who's like, we can only care about Batman and no one else.
It's been the best since that motherfucker left. But I digress. But man, this trailer, let's talk about this trailer. This
Yeah,
trailer
so just
has
right off the
surprisingly-
bat, there's a.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but there's a lot of like new stuff. There's like a lot of like new shots. It wasn't just like they just remixed a lot of stuff from the last trailer. So
Yeah, this trailer actually tells you everything about the story right away. Like it has all the setup. It has stuff that if you know the story enough, feels like endgame dialogue, if that makes sense. But without knowing the context of it, you're just like, okay, well, that's just a normal line type of thing.
yeah, the thing I guess I was curious about was how much would they reveal about Crypto's role in the movie? Just assuming that it follows pretty closely the comic that this movie's largely based on. So yeah, it does seem like they'll have Krim of the Yellow Hills as the main baddie of the movie injure Crypto early on. There's like all this cute stuff with Crypto, so I don't know if they're gonna like front load the movie with a lot of Crypto stuff to remind the audience like, oh, everybody loves this cute but naughty dog from Superman.
I'm assuming the beginning is going to be that call, and then it's just going to be a montage of her doing stuff. Flashback, possibly.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get a lot of flashbacks to her origin. So there might be a lot of as she's like worried about Crypto over the course of the movie, it might flash back to memories that she's having, like that right there. Like she's like staring at this locket with a picture of Crypto, kind of
like a stopwatchy type thing to it.
Yeah, that could be like a Kryptonian watch, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of weird though for her to have. I mean, like, it looks kind of alien, but also very Earth-like at the same time.
Yeah, it looks like, my guess is she's setting an alarm to be like, this is how much time you have or something.
Oh, that would make sense. That's a good visual thing to do in the movie, because then, like, okay, like, halfway through the movie, she pulls this thing out, and, like, there's only, like, 4 dots left, and then later there's 3 dots, and then 2. It has, like, it's like a ring of lit-up dots on this little clock-looking thing. So, yeah,
it would
if
be
it's
a great
countdown...
Visual.
Yeah,
like seeing it start going red or something as she gets closer or something.
Yeah,
crazy like that. And what I find fascinating about this is that they looked at the backstory of what starts in this, and they made it darker, technically, because one, Krim is already part of the Brigands. Like right off the bat, the Brigands are already a thing. 2, he murders the entire family instead of just the dad, and the dad has this what seems to be some sort of fight scene with him, and I'm guessing also burns down her house.
That is what it looks like. But yeah, it's like, oh damn, Ruthie's dad is kind of a badass in the movie. Like he gets cut down immediately in the comics. So
he gets cut down in like a very, like, again, it's a very cowardly way in the normal one. Like it's in an argument. Like we're not spoiling too much because we did talk about the full plot of the actual comic. And if you guys followed what we said, you'll notice how much of what we said is part of it. Ruthie being there, but yeah, Krem is already part of the Yellow Hills. It seems like Krem actually starts this fight because it looks like I think the implication is Kara is just sort of outside fucking around with Crypto before she leaves, and then he just like walks up to rob her. I think is the implication of what's going on in that sequence. And then
when we see Crypto run up to the spaceship,
yeah, because he's like inside nonchalantly eating stuff because he's not like freaking the fuck out from being chased by Ruthie or anything, or anybody. Like there's no like the way the comic is where he's freaking out because he's getting his ass beat by Supergirl, type of thing. And instead he's like, it's clear that he's robbing her instead of him like being there because Ruthie's hunting for him. It seems like him and the Brigands just come across the ship being like, oh, look at this, a spaceship. And just like, it's like,
so they're just waiting it. Yeah,
it's a bad time, like wrong place, wrong time type of situation in a different way. Whereas in the comic, it's more about Ruthie accidentally finding Supergirl and doing this thing. I feel like Ruthie's going to find her maybe after the fact instead of during it.
Okay, because... And
also, the Crypto thing seems to be real this time. because as the comic decided it was like, oh, I was a ploy to get you to come with me, type of
Right.
thing. Whereas this seems like, no, we are actually going to make it a real thing that's happening to up the stakes. And I think movie-wise, that's a very good decision.
Yeah, so the spaceship that Kara and Crypto are hanging out in this, like, I don't know, maybe she's like kind of living out of it. Uh, 'cause
Yeah, that seems to
there's
be
a
the
lot of
implication.
there's like a lot of
Especially based on
shots
the
of
first trailer we had.
like the opening of the trailer. Just to go back to the very beginning, we see like Clark talking to her on like a video screen, but it's very lived in. She's got liquor bottles, all kinds of junk, and she doesn't clean her room. Uh, and we know from the Woman of Tomorrow comic, she goes traveling to systems with red suns where she can actually get drunk on alcohol to mourn her birthday. It's not that like as the movie last year, kind of implied like she does it to kind of party. But I think this movie will get into her psyche a little bit, and we'll have the Woman of Tomorrow stuff that like no, it's because she has all of this trauma from losing Krypton, losing her family. But yeah, I guess she'll be like just kind of traveling with her dog in an RV. She's an RV girly.
Yeah, because the movie and the ending of the last movie implied that she actually does this more often than
Mm-hmm.
and the comic did, where the comic was like, this is just me celebrating my birthday. I wanted to do something different, so she went out and got drunk. Whereas this is more like a self-medicating, depressed, he clearly has PTSD type person. And it's like, and it makes sense why they would have this. They unlike Clark, because that's the thing I like about Clark's message, where he's like, hey, I would rather you didn't go out all the time because you could be here on Earth and you
Right.
can find your people. Because
But
in
she doesn't
Clark's
wanna-
mind, finding his people means finding people you connect with. But
Yeah.
in her mind, she's like, my people were the other Kryptonians, as well as my family and everybody. And the only people I have left from that original stuff, because Clark is still her family, but he's not like, it's not like they grew up together type of cousins. It's the equivalent of like your cousins that live in Mexico that you met in their 20s and you're just like, I don't know you, fuck off type of thing. Like that's how her life is. It's very sad, it's very tragic, and she's clearly just she's like, I don't know how long I have left. I'm gonna get really weird with it because
Yeah.
I have to for my family or whatever.
Well, like
She just
living
can't get over it.
living in a space RV, that kind of symbolizes like, oh, you don't want to like settle down and plant your roots anywhere and like get close to people. You want to stay on the move and detached and kind of keep everyone a little distant.
Yeah, her life is already one of Clark's worst nightmares, which is
Right.
that everyone she's ever loved has already died, and she outlived everybody in horrific ways, based on what we know about what happened to Argo City. I'm guessing is still going to be the same spot.
Yeah.
And it's tragic seeing like the last thing she saw before she left Argo as well. It's clearly like Argo falling apart slowly.
Yeah, and Zor-El sending her off. But that's why she's so close to this dog. She's like, oh yeah, that's like all I have is this dog. Like Clark had Ma and Pa, and he is in love with Lois and has this relationship with her. Like I don't have any of that. I lost everyone I cared about. I just have this dog. And she says throughout the trailer things like, yeah, home is wherever you are, buddy, and things like that to this dog. So yeah, she's just living her mobile RV life with her dog.
Yeah, she's clearly like, even when you cut to the cuts to her, she's just nonchalantly flying with her dog in her lap. She doesn't really care. She's just like, another fucking weird ass world we can stop at and just get fucked up at type of thing.
The crowd surfing in the bar with the dog, they're like carrying Crypto around too. I think that's cute. That's funny.
I think part of it is maybe this is like she didn't really plan on landing here originally. She probably was just like, oh, it's just an empty world I can hang out in for a little bit, not expecting roving bandits to show up.
Yeah, to break into my ship. Yeah, she parked in the wrong side of town, I guess, and her car got broke into, and then her dog gets shot.
And it looks like ships are very much a thing for them, because you see all the ships in that shot of Crypto running that are like behind her ship. Like, so it's not like Krem doesn't know what a ship is this time around, because in the comic he didn't know what a ship was. He was
it's more like a Star Wars planet. Yeah, people just show up and you can come and go on ships. It's not a weird deal. No one's gonna freak out. And
it's actually like really interesting, the changes they've decided to do to just kind of move along things. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like a lot of these are. They're just to move things along. I'm curious to see why Krem kills her family this time around. Because the reason he killed her family the first in the comic is like, well, he worked for whatever their king was. I was just trying to make sure that people weren't being, rude about the king, which I hilariously enough, her father passes that test. It's just that he's a dick about it, according to Krem. Krem's like, you don't have to be a dick about passing the test, and then killed him, basically. and then he's like, well, actually, I kind of like that, so I want to do that more. And so he kind of becomes a little more murdery. And in this, he's clearly already a psychopath. Like he looks super evil in this.
Yeah, he's a sadist. He wants to hurt people, which I guess he did have a lot of that in the comic too. But like when he tells her,
he was so unassuming, because he just looked like fucking Ron Swanson almost, or not Ron Swanson. There's this one character that I've been thinking of that just has like a beard like that. It just looks like some fucking dude type of thing. You know what? He reminds me of Gerald Butler. Like, he looks like a kind of a Gerald Butler, a redheaded Gerald Butler.
Yeah.
And doesn't really look like he's crazy, but doesn't also look like he's, sane at the same time. And so you're not expecting him to be the level of sadist he is, because he's not dressed to the nines as evil as possible as movie Creme of the Yellow Hills is. Because movie Creme of the Yellow Hills, you see that guy and your first thought immediately is like, well, that guy's clearly a supervillain, or he's clearly evil or a gang or something. Like, don't go near that guy. That dude's fucking crazy. Like, he's got all these these pins or something in his face. Like,
they give him kind of like a pinhead look. Yeah, he's much more alien and intimidating, and not like just kind of like a normal human looking dude.
He also has these very like dark sadist lines to everybody. He tells it to Ruthie, and he tells it to Kara after he shoots Crypto, I'm assuming. Which is just that, like, oh, you guys look real pretty when you're crying. It's
real messed up villain line. I don't know I guess he's a Belgian actor, the guy who's playing Crumb. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with his work. But hopefully
he vaguely looks familiar to me, but I generally don't know who he is either.
Hopefully he can be a pretty compelling bad guy to carry this movie. I'm thinking Lobo, because we don't know. That's the fun thing about Lobo. He's not in the comics, so we don't know the function he's going to have in the movie. But I'm going to guess that he fights Supergirl when they first encounter, classic comic book crossover thing. Before you can team up, you have to fight it out a little bit, and then he'll help her out at the end of the movie. It looks like he's part of that big battle on the ship at the end.
Yeah, part of it looks like he's there. Like, she probably goes to that bar for information, I'm guessing, and he just happens to be there. Is what it seems like it's starting with, but and because he just happens to be hanging out there. Because especially with the line when she mentions when they're fighting at some point, he says, "Hey, you're that girl from the bar."
Yeah, the ditz from the dive bar that they both accuse the other one of being. I love that, though. It's like, oh yeah, that's it. That's actually a good way to describe Lobo.
It's a great way to describe Lobo. I love the fact that his bike. I love that they made it to where his bike has the skull, because it looks more like he wrapped the skull around it instead of it just being like part of the bike, if that makes sense. Because the bike usually has like a skull front facing part of it. but it looks like they just like instead he sort of just tied one into it, kind of the way like truckers tie bears and stuff to their trucks. He
Yeah.
just did that with an actual skull instead, and I just think that's really fun.
Yeah, I like that. I kind of wish it didn't actually have tires. I kind of wish it was just like a hover bike, but I don't know. Maybe this will be more exciting to see on screen.
Part of it's probably like budgetary reasons. Probably it's hard to keep it staying up the whole time.
I just want him to be able to like fly it into space. I think would be cool. Like
I
want to see
want
that.
to see a shot of Lobo flying in space, talking shit to somebody. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll ever get it, but I mean, really hope we do.
There's lots of shots of Supergirl flying in space. So,
and I'm curious how much of the actual Supergirl outfit is going to be in the movie, because there's a lot of shots of her only wearing the trench coat look.
Yeah.
Throughout the trailer, like when her doing the partying, her at the bar with Lobo. It does, and there's even the shots of her fighting stuff in space while wearing the trench coat outfit.
Yeah, so it might be something that we don't really see out of the trench coat until the third act.
Yeah, it seems to make the most sense. And I like that shot of Crypto flying right away, and because it looks like Crypto gained his powers as a pup.
Yeah,
because he's like puppy, but he starts hovering around her,
and she looks young too, like with her hair back in a ponytail like that and the hoodie. Like they're trying to make her look a little younger. So this must be like after she recently arrived on Earth, which would be cool if we could see like maybe like the first time her and Clark meet or something like that. That'd be really cool to see that.
I would love that, because Kara and Superman's Kara and Clark's relationship varies in comics so often.
Yeah,
like, we all know original Kara and Clark had the weirdest introduction, where he's like, it's like, I'm your cousin. That's great. I need you to go to an orphanage immediately. Whereas, and then there's the newer versions of them meeting where she comes down from a giant meteor, and he's immediately ecstatic, and he's like, come live with me, and we'll hang out, and we'll do all the things together, type of thing. So I'm curious, like, if he's gonna be like, I want it to be like that. I want him to be like, oh my god, I have a cousin. Let's hang out. Let's do shit. But I like the idea of him doing that and Kara just being like, I lost my whole family. And he's like, oh. Like, just not really knowing how to, like, trying his best to be there for her. But for some people, there's only so much you can do for somebody right away. Sometimes they need time to come to terms with whatever's going on. And I like that it shows that Clark is consistently keeping up with her. Like, he's sending messages to be like, hey, just checking in,
Yeah, he's doing a little bit better job than, like, the Superman of Young Justice that didn't really check in on Connor Kent.
I mean, I hated Connor in that show. The second he saw Connor, he's like, fuck this.
Yeah, he's just like, okay, looks like you're doing well. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm busy. Bye.
It was like, it's like a bad, it's not even a bad dad, because he didn't even try acting like a dad to him. It was just like, it was more like an AA sponsor, you know what I mean? We're just be like, hey Connor, I'm just checking to make sure you're good. Okay, whatever. Talk to you later. Bye later, man. Call me, I guess, if you might need something. And then he just doesn't answer the phone. It's like a bad AA sponsor.
But we should go in addition to looking at the 1984 Helen Slater movie and some of the Supergirl appearances on like Superman the Animated Series or Justice League Unlimited. We should also go, and I've never read the original Supergirl origin story from back in the 50s.
I've read it once and only once, and I don't remember it that well, outside of him being like, that's great, orphanage time.
I guess
like, come on, Clark.
The only comic book origins I've read were the shapeshifter changeling one, and then the Supergirl from Jeff Loeb with who came with all the kryptonite.
Yeah, and they made there's an animated movie for that, guys, if you have never seen it, which is it just called Supergirl? Superman, Batman,
I think
Supergirl, or
well, I have the Blu-ray on this shelf over here, but I don't think I can.
I know it's the comic is called Supergirl, or the storyline is called Supergirl, but the movie is called something else.
I think it's super.
entirely.
Oh wait, there's Superman, Batman, Public Enemies, and then the other one. I think it's called Apocalypse, but
Apocalypse. It's called Apocalypse because they go to Apocalypse in it. That's the only that explains a lot more. That was back when DC used to make movies to look like whoever drew them, which hasn't really been a thing for a very long time. It's the reason why I would rather them not do Kingdom Come Now, because if they did Kingdom Come Now, it'd be in that same weird art style they do either when they did the New 52 or the short-lived whatever the Man of Tomorrow universe time frame was. But no, that makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah,
Did you
when they
find it?
did the first one, Public Enemies, they did it. It was all like Ed McGuinness art style, and then it
Yeah,
was,
everyone was buff as shit. I don't know the other artist's name. I think he has since passed actually. The man who did everything after Ed McGuinness.
Turner. It was the Witchblade guy.
Yeah, his stuff was very interesting when he did.
Michael
DC.
Turner. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he has since passed. But
Yeah,
Handsome Superman, that meme came from that movie, from Superman Batman Apocalypse.
Damn. He died at 37. I knew he died young.
Really?
But that's yeah. Like,
That's tragic.
yeah. But yeah. He. I'm kind of glad that, like, I kind of think that might not have been, like, the best way to reintroduce this teenage girl character. It was with a Michael Turner, like, super sexualized lady. That was, like, his claim to fame was he drew, like, one style of woman in, like, every comic he made. Sorry,
Yeah,
my phone's going off, but...
Yeah, there's, like, a super sexy Supergirl in it because of the Apocalypse sequence. And even in some where they're not, because there's a sequence where when she first wakes up in the Batcave, she is naked, but she's got like a I think she's holding a cape over, or Clark's holding the cape over, or something, and you're just like, that's supposed to be a teenager, man.
Yeah,
like,
it's something that, like, it didn't bother me when I was a kid, but now, like, I look back at some of the stuff and I was like, oh, but she's supposed to be, like, 16. Like, that is really weird.
Well, I'm in my mid-30s now. Like,
Well,
I can't go
but
around being like, that's pretty hot now.
But I feel like they don't make young women depicted like that in the character designs as much
Well, not in
these
America,
days.
at least.
Like,
Not in
well, yeah,
America.
yeah, in
Japan
other
loves that
countries,
shit.
yeah,
You
like
watch
I
My
know,
Hero Academia, everybody's thirsting over 14-year-olds, and
Yeah,
you're just like,
yeah,
I need you
that's-
guys to stop.
the anime fandoms can get weird with that sometimes, but like one example, I've been watching a lot of Star Wars stuff lately, and I rewatched the Clone Wars, and it's just like, man, like young Ahsoka, Anakin's little apprentice in that show. Like when they introduce her, it's all like cutesy and cartoony, and like she's supposed to be like 14, but all the Jedi Masters, like all these men, they're in like these full-on robes, or like sometimes they have like armor on like under the robes, and then like the 13, 14-year-olds is like walking around in this little like skimpy tube top. Like what's the Jedi dress code? Like,
Well, yeah, there's the same with the one Twi'lek.
yeah,
Jedi.
the blue Twi'lek lady, yeah.
He's wearing like a fucking
Sakura.
tube top
Yeah.
the whole time, and you're just like, is there supposed to be a dress code for the Jedi?
Yeah, like she's...
I wanted a guy, like a Jedi in like some short shorts in the background.
Right?
Just
Right?
being like, look, it gets hot in Tatooine. I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, I ain't wearing robes out there. What are you, stupid? It's hot as shit's hot as balls down here.
But I guess I do like the trailer. It's still not giving away too much more than things we already know. Like, it's just...
It's
I'm
all
guessing
set up,
that
and that's what I like about it.
we might get like multiple Clark Kent scenes in here, because if they flash back to her arrival on Earth, I think we're gonna have to see like how they met.
Yeah, I'm hoping there's a moment where like she shows up. Maybe he walks her into the fortress, being like, "Hey, these are all my robots. Like, you know, my dad built all these." Type of thing. Like, everything's pretty cool, right? Like, just to be like, hey, this is my life here. Like, I want him to have the moment where like, I want you to have a life here the way I have a life here, and for her to be like, maybe to panic and be like, no, and then just leave type of thing. Like I kind of want a scene like that to just emphasize even more so how much Earth just isn't doing it for her right away. Because
Yeah.
we know that she does help on Earth when she wants to, based on and I know this is a retcon technically of Peacemaker season 1, but when Peacemaker season 1 did its retcon of instead of the Justice League showing up to help with the butterflies, instead it was the Justice Gang, Superman and Supergirl are both there as well, meaning that Supergirl's willing to help when she can, but that's if she's on Earth at the time.
But yeah, but
like
she has
so
at least
probably just left.
At least one time she's like teamed up with her cousin and with Guy Gardner and Hot Girl and Mr. Terrific. I would like to see her interact with those heroes more, but it would also be really cool if there's some DC superheroes in this movie that we don't know about, but they're still waiting to surprise us with. But maybe it'll just be like Lobo and Superman, which is like cool. I'm happy to see them, but
I like the idea that none of them show up, just because it shows. To me, it would show how outside of the galaxy she is than normal.
That's a good point.
Because that was one of the reasons why it happens in Woman of Tomorrow, everything that's going on, because she can't just pull out a Justice League communicator and be like, I need pickup at, like, where are we? Like, is that some sort of thing? It's like a Star Trek story where they're out of bounds of the Federation space, essentially.
But it's like the thing that she's seeking, like she wants to be in isolation and not get close to people and just live out of her space RV. But then, you know, it kind of turns around and bites her in the ass. And it's like, oh shit, I could actually use some help right now. Just have like this little girl Ruthie teamed up with me. I could actually use some heavy hitters by my side. I guess that's why she ends up teaming up with Lobo. It's like
it's very poetic that none of the gooder people would be near her because she's gone out of her way to distance herself from them, only to run into the worst of the worst, including Lobo, of course. Because Lobo may be the main man, but that dude is a psychopath.
Yeah,
and I'm curious to see what his role becomes in this, because it looks like he helps them eventually, but to what end is he there for? Maybe it's one of those things where the brigands are just annoying as hell to him, so he's just helping type of thing, or maybe or something like that, or maybe as a bounty that the brigands want even on him type of thing.
Yeah, or maybe they one of their spaceships ran over one of his dolphins or something, and that's what pissed him off.
That would be hilarious.
It's like, oh, I understand. I'm also a pet owner. I understand. For people who don't know, Lobo, I guess like the only life forms he truly loves are, well, that's not true. He also has a dog himself. It showed up in a Green Lantern comic one time and fought that Red Lantern cat Dexstar had a fight with Lobo's dog.
Yeah, I think he shows up in a few of Lobo's main titles. It's like a pit bull or something, right? If I remember.
Yeah, it was an ugly dog, but he was very protective of his dog.
There's Lobo is an interesting guy because he only loves a few things in his life, and mostly they're himself. But because Lobo is a very strange cast of characters, and they introduced a daughter to Lobo a few years back, and we still don't know who her mom is supposed to be. And there's
Crush
implications for other stuff about Crush. There's other stuff about Crush that we still don't fully know, that were introduced to, ideas that are introduced to her, and then they just never. They did one mini with her, and she was in the Teen Titans for a minute, and I generally can't remember the last time I've seen her.
Yeah, we might not see much more of her till there's another writer who's like, I have an idea for Lobo's kid.
I'm excited to see if maybe this will bring him back in the forefront, and somebody might do something with her again. What I want to see, honestly, not from the movie, but I mean in the DC comics, I want them to bring back Phobo. I'm calling him Phobo, but his name he was Lobo in the New 52.
The fake Lobo.
Because I have a fantastic idea for Phobo to this day, and I really wish somebody would do it, which is that the easiest way to retcon that character, because that character in the New 52, he's like, I'm the real Lobo, or is what his bullshit backstory was. The easiest thing you could do is just set it to where that version of Lobo is just like a clone of original Lobo from his DNA, like splattering somewhere and reforming, and he just happens to think he's the real Lobo. That's all you would have to do. It would solve so many problems so quickly.
How do you feel about Lobo as a... Should he be more of a good guy or more of a bad guy? Because I kind of have like some strong opinions on it. I think Deadpool was a better, more interesting character, at least to me, when he was more of a bad guy. And I think it's kind of weird. He's been turned like this more noble character.
No, Lobo should always be despicable in his own way. I want him to always have his own code that sometimes helps people, and by people I mean like himself if the situation calls for it. But like I've always seen him as the reluctant ally. You know what I mean? Like he's the guy you go to when you're like, okay, all the good people I know are busy. But I know a guy that if you give him $100, he'll help you out for like an hour, type of thing. Like I want that guy. Like that's the thing about Lobo that I love is that Lobo. Anytime Lobo shows up to help in anything, even when he helped in Justice League, he was still being an asshole, type of thing. Like that's what I want. I want Lobo to be like, look, I'm here to pay my debt, but also I'm going to steal a bunch of shit while I'm here, type of thing. Like he is not like he's not really your friend necessarily. Like he is like you could be like, he's my friend. Like you know when you meet somebody and they're like, who is this? And you're like, I guess they're my friend technically, but you should not trust a word that man says, type of thing. Like we've all known a guy like that at some point in our lives.
But yeah,
but that's what Lobo is. Like I want Lobo to always look out for himself, even when he's doing good, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and just sometimes stories will have a really popular bad guy that they want to include in more and more stories, so they end up just sanitizing the character and making them one of the good guys, and then you lose your cool baddie. Like,
yeah, luckily Lobo's almost fallen into that trap a bunch of times because people keep trying to make him like, well, he's like Wolverine, he's an anti-hero. They're like, no, not really. He's more like you said, he's like original Deadpool. Although Lobo predates Deadpool's new version of he is now. But that's the best way I can explain him to people. He's like, yeah, he's the way Deadpool is, especially in like the way he is in Deadpool 1 and a lot of Deadpool 2, where he's just like, yeah, I don't care about any of this sort of thing. Like I'm here to do this for myself. Like there's nothing really all that heroic about what I'm doing, type of thing. Because my favorite stories involving Lobo are just like him dicking around. Like,
yeah, I kind of like him as kind of like a parody or a satire of a lot of like the 90s image action comic heroes that were just like super murderous, who would just have like massive muscles and big guns and just mow people down casually, just slaughter dozens of people.
Yeah, that's why he could never be a good guy. Because Lobo's not. If you told Lobo to not kill somebody, the second you turn around, he would kill somebody and be like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
you'd be like, Lobo, I told you not to murder that guy. Look, Superman, he fell on my hook. I don't know what to tell you.
But I guess
what it would be. Yeah,
Momoa's a likable enough actor. They could probably pull off a I don't know, a more of a good guy Lobo, but my preference would be that they make him up. No, he's a pretty nasty bad guy, and yeah, you only team up with him if there's nobody left to choose
like
from.
Most time he's ever been in a good guy position was mostly like in stuff like Injustice and what's the other one? I want to say the Vampires one or sort of thing. I don't remember if Lobo was part of that or not, but it's always like an alternate timeline where there's so little heroes left. You're like, well, I guess we gotta take Lobo with us, because what the fuck else do we have right now? Because that's where that infamous comic comes from, where the Injustice one, where it comes from, where he gets a hold of a lantern ring and makes a giant dick construct at some point.
What was that in?
It's in one of the Injustice ones because like what happens
Okay.
is it's supposed to take place after Injustice 1, where Hal Jordan is sent to prison. Like, but he's sent to a prison in like space basically, and I guess Lobo's there or something, and they get attacked by a bunch of other people, and at some point, Lobo gets a hold of the Lantern Ring because he actually it's also the one where he punts Dexter. I think that comic he also punts Dexter.
Okay.
And, but what happens? He gets a hold of a Lantern Ring and he gets into a fight with some. I think with some of the Red Lanterns, and he says he does the joke where he says he does the oath, but I think at the end instead of saying Green Lantern's might, I think the implication is he says Green Lantern's dick. And then somebody off panel goes, "Did he just make a?" Yes, he did.
Okay.
Because all you see is like a long shaft of energy break something. You don't see the front of it, and you don't see the back of it. And so the implication is he made a giant dick to destroy something. And you're just like, oh.
Injustice 2 number 63, Lobo briefly becomes a Green Lantern and creates an obscene phallic construct to attack his enemies. So, okay, there you go.
Yeah, the image is like, it's clear that that's what he's doing. That's where he says, "Damn straight, I dare beware my Green Lanterns," and then it's got the sensor, so the implication is he's saying dick. Most likely.
There you go. That is canon in the Injustice universe.
Yeah, the Lobo is an interesting character. Lobo also has some of my favorite, just weird crossovers with stuff. But yeah, but we're never probably gonna get some of those in this because they're all different properties and stuff. But I'm very, very excited at the fact that Lobo is now in the forefront of mainstream again. Because Lobo's been in a lot of stuff. He's been in Superman the Animated Series. He's been in Young Justice. He's been in Injustice. That was not on purpose. He was also in Krypton, that show Krypton, as well.
Yeah. I remember that, and he looked pretty good. All the characters, like Brainiac, looked good. Doomsday looked good.
Yeah, Krypton went out of its way to make everyone look as great as possible, and it was crazy to me that they did that in a show that's so far removed from the Superman story.
Yeah, they were like, we know nobody out there is going to care about Superman's grandpa or like General Zod's grandpa or whoever. So like whenever a character that you do care about shows up on the show, we're going to make sure they look fucking great.
Yeah, it was fucking rad. And then so yeah, Lobo's been Lobo is a popular character that sometimes I'm always surprised when they're like, Lobo's not even that well known. I'm like, what have you been watching? Because he's been in everything, type of thing.
Well, you know what
like the only
really
thing
put him on
was the CW, I guess.
What really put him on the radar was in Superman the Animated Series. They were coming off of Batman the Animated Series. Those creators were probably like, man, Batman is such a great rogues gallery. It's hard to find that many Superman villains from the comics that would be exciting characters to have in our animated show, but we could make Lobo work as a Superman villain, and that ended up becoming one of his, I think, most popular appearances in anything.
Yeah, because he had fought Lobo a few times and stuff. Because Superman fights everybody, but what makes Lobo in Superman fights fun is that Lobo is such the opposite of what Superman is in a lot, but also very much the same. Because they're the last of their race. They're both fucking unkillable, and they're both incredibly powerful beings. But one uses their power to help everyone around them, and the other uses their power to help himself as much as possible. And so it makes for the very fun dynamic whenever they meet each other, and that's what made that episode of Superman the Animated Series hilarious. Because Lobo was just like, this is really interesting. Like this whole last Kryptonian, I'm the last Zarnian, and it's like, fucking, let's do this shit. And it's also one of the funniest episodes it's a two-parter, but it's one of the funniest things in that entire show. It's got some of my favorite lines, and And Brad Garrett as Lobo was just it's perfection.
Yeah, no, that's the voice I probably always think of whenever I read a Lobo comic. Although I could see it becoming Jason Momoa going forward if I really connect with this version of the character.
Yeah, the problem with Brad Garrett's voice is that I connect him to both the Bibbo and Lobo, so my mind has a hard time differentiating what I want to do. So if he ends up, if Jason Momoa ends up great, he may become my new one, and then I'll see. Maybe that'll help me out on my comic reading again. But I'm very excited because just let's be clear. Jason Momoa was just playing Lobo this whole fucking time when it came to Aquaman. He was not Aquaman. That man was just playing Lobo. Especially when you watch Zack Snyder's Justice League.
We make the joke all the time that he should have been playing Lobo from day one. Like, if you know anything about the DC universe and you want to cast Jason Momoa, just like everyone universally agrees that's the most obvious casting in the fucking world. And just, nope, I'm gonna make him Aquaman.
Yeah, there's a story that apparently Momoa thought he was gonna get a call for Lobo when he auditioned, because apparently the role was apparently a secret role originally. Like there was no actual mention of who it was gonna be. And he's like, "I get to be Lobo," and Zack Snyder's like, "What? No, you're Aquaman." He's like, "What? Okay, I guess." Like, he was just as confused as everyone else was. Like, this man was born to be Lobo. Like, I'm not. That's no exaggeration of that. Like, that man genuinely loves that character, probably more than most people like some of the characters there. And I always like when an actor is passionate about a character they want to be, even if that character ends up not turning out the way they wanted them to. I'm still happy they got to do it, type of thing. Like Nicolas Cage with Ghost Rider is a good example of that. As much as I don't like those movies, that man loved Ghost Rider a lot. So you know what? I'm happy for him. He got to be Ghost Rider. Same with Cavill's Superman. As much as I don't love the Snyderverse Superman stuff overall, Cavill loved Superman and wanted to be a part of that mythos.
Yeah, and I think Tom Holland with Spider-Man, you know, he talked a lot about how he grew up a huge fan of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and wanted to be the next Spider-Man, and now he is.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield is another good example. He loved Spider-Man immensely. Got to be in some movies I didn't like very much, but he liked being Spider-Man, and I can't fault him for that. Same with it's gonna be bad for Cavill again. And same with Cavill again, because Cavill was fucking The Witcher, and he was so upset with what was going on that he left. Was another example of like the man loves being a character, and you got to at least be that character for a little bit. So Jason Momoa, you know, I'm so fucking happy for you, man. You finally got it. And I bet you that man is just gonna be dressed like Lobo for Halloween for the fuck of it. He's gonna love that shit for the rest of his life. I love it.
Yeah. Hopefully he can show up in some more stuff post Supergirl. Just re-looking at the trailer, I think you're absolutely right about we're probably not going to see her in the full-on Supergirl suit, skirt, cape, everything, but no trench coat until the very end, because she's like in civilian clothes and like a lot of the bar scenes and just like hanging out with the dog and the space RV. And
part of me thinks it's probably because it's on the ship and they probably take off with the ship or something.
Oh, so like she doesn't have it, so she's forced to go wandering around with just her civilian clothes.
Yeah, because in the comics she's wearing the outfit and she has like a jacket over the outfit, which is I always thought was very funny about that. Where this is like halfway, this is her normal outfit.
Yeah, halfway through the trailer, you see when they're on like a space bus. We saw in the other trailer in the teaser, they're like waiting at a bus stop, and then they arrive at this new place, and she's still in like her civilian clothes, so t-shirt and trench coat and blue jeans. So that she's probably been wearing for like 3 days and traveling in these space buses with all of her wardrobe back on her ship. So yeah, that sucks. This is probably the bar where they meet Lobo in. This is the dive bar, because the way that they edit the trailer together, you see Lobo smoking his cigar, talking to Supergirl,
Yeah,
right
it
after
looks
her
like,
and Ruthie arrive.
yeah, I'm very curious to see like exactly because yeah, he is the most unknown element of this entire thing. We know the story fairly well. Like we see Ruthie and them on the bus thing. That could be that sequence where she's just like, "I need this headrest." Maybe they might do that scene. Who knows? And and then there's like scenes that are definitely not in the comic, like her flying out, finding something in space while wearing the trench coat outfit.
Hmm.
Um, and the fact that Krem's, like we mentioned, Krem's part of the Brigands right away, and also that she's there when her dad dies, type of thing. Like, there's a lot going on in this that's a lot more different than I thought. But also at the same time, I don't know if they have the balls to be like, also the Brigands are space genociders for money,
They
type of
might
thing. Like that
well,
might
I
be the
don't
thing
know.
they tone down. I wouldn't be surprised if they up the darkness and everything else to tone down exactly what the Brigands do.
Yeah, I would want them. I would understand toning that down a little bit. I would want them to still be like pretty nasty people, just for like Ruthie's arc of like, she needs to like really want revenge against them. So they need
Yeah,
to be like pretty despicable when they kill her family.
well, yeah, if
But
they're like evil space pirates or something, that still fulfills the normal thing.
yeah,
It's just like what the comic Brigands were. They were just so ridiculously evil, and I
yeah,
mean like to the point where you're just like any number of like because this is the funny thing always thought about the Brigands, because everybody knows that the Brigands exist and that all they do is go around absolutely genociding things. It's like, yeah, I also feel like there would be so many like cop thing in the galaxy that would like be
right.
chasing
Like
them at all times. Like,
if
why
there's
would
a
that not be a thing?
yeah, if there's like a gang of people who just go around just rape and pillage and just wipe out entire planet civilizations, then yeah, like that should be like the priority one of the Green Lantern Corps to like go
Yeah,
stop them or something like
you would
that.
think that like somebody would automatically be like, well, this is going to be what we're doing, type of thing, because it's not like once or twice. It's like this is something they do all the time. It's like it's a known thing. So I don't know. That was always the thing that bothered me about that comic, was the fact that it's like, yeah, no one had ever thought about stopping them. They're like, why? It was just weird. But and even then, like, I'm curious to what we're gonna keep and what we're not gonna keep. Um, and I like that they seem to be, they might have found a way around what is the MPAA's no smoking thing,
Right.
because he's holding like a cigar like thing, but they might be able to be like, well, it's a space cigar or something to keep
Yeah.
him to keep it from being like R-rated. Because that, for people who don't know, the if they're smoking in anything nowadays, it automatically makes something R-rated or mature.
Maybe there's an exception if it's an alien smoking. I don't know. Yeah, like if that helps, but he can just be like, I'm a Zarnian, I'm immune to cancer or something like that.
Yeah, because he's that would be hilarious. But it's just, I'm fascinated by it. But once this trailer came out, they also announced a bunch of Supergirl toys right away. At least McFarlane ones. Two Supergirl figures that I know of. One comes with puppy crypto, as you mentioned. The other one is the trench coat Supergirl with normal crypto, like adult crypto, I guess. A Lobo figure, a Lobo with his motorcycle, and a comic book Lobo as well, like a first appearance Lobo. Apparently, they announced that as well. So they're going all in on these figures. They're going all in on this series. I wonder if they're going to make any Supergirl toys the way they did Superman, like the cheaper ones. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
you'd
Those
think they
toys
would.
I felt like didn't sell as well as they thought they would, unfortunately.
If they do any, it'll be Supergirl and Lobo, I guess. But uh, yeah, it'd be nice to. There's kind of a history of female characters not getting the same level of merchandise as male characters because licensees think that they're not going to sell as well, and I
Well,
guess
there
there
was
might be some truth to that. But
no, there is, because there's the infamous Guardians of the Galaxy 1 stuff, where Guardians of the Galaxy 1 came out. There were shirts, action figures, cups, toys, whatever, of every single one of the Guardians except for Gamora.
Right. But like you're
And
never going to build an audience for that merchandise if you don't make the stuff. So
exactly, there was a bunch of like people upset because they were like, "Well, yeah, my little girl wants a Gamora shirt, but they don't make a Gamora shirt." And
yeah.
my little girl wants, a Gamora figure, but they
Yeah,
don't
no,
make a
people
Gamora
love
figure.
Gamora. Like my 10-year-old niece, I'm pretty sure she would say Gamora is her favorite Marvel character.
Yeah, and there are also people that were like us that were like, "I want all the Guardians. You don't make a
Yeah,
Gamora
yeah.
figure. What the fuck? What's wrong with you people? I can't own them all. This is stupid." I guess I'll make my own Gamora out of She-Hulk figure.
I mean, yeah, I think you're right though about the Supergirl suit just being at the end, and then yeah, I think the first encounter with Lobo, they'll fight at some bar they stop at along the way on Kara and Ruthie's quest, and then he'll fight on their side against the brigands at the end. It's kind of weird, like that shot towards the end of Supergirl catching the spear before it hits Ruthie, which was pretty badass, and then she like scrambles to get in the way to shield her from Lobo's motorcycle. It almost kind of looks like Lobo is attacking them or like trying to like run them over or throw a spear at her or something.
Well, I think it's just the brigands. I don't think it's Lobo's motorcycle because it doesn't have that front piece to it.
Oh, is this someone else? Okay.
I think what it is Ruthie throws it at a brigand, and it causes them to crash because she throws her sword.
Right. Yeah, she threw it into someone's
crash.
tire, and yeah, I don't think that's Lobo. It's some other dude getting flipped.
Yeah, because when you look at the motorcycle itself, it doesn't have the front piece that Lobo's Lobo's motorcycle reminds me more of Batman's Batcycle from the animated series, where it has that big section to it.
It kind of has like that shielding around the front tire.
Yeah, exactly. So it's probably to keep him from crashing the same way.
Yeah,
somebody throwing something at the tire. And yeah, I'm very curious to see just how, because it seems like there's a shot from the beginning from the original trailer of her destroying the stuff on the top of the ship, and it looks like Lobo's there as well with her. So I'm curious just how important he is to the story.
Yeah, so for whatever reason, she'll need his help to attack them. They're too much. Like she can't do it alone, and there will be some reason. Maybe just Lobo is just like, I don't give a crap about either of you or any of this, but I hate it when I hear someone abuse the dog. I can't get over that. It could be something as simple as that.
I would love for that to be the reason. He's like, I heard a dog. I love dogs. Fuck people, but dogs are awesome. Yeah, this trailer knows exactly what it's doing, by the way. It immediately was just like, you love this dog? I know you love this dog. Look how awesome this dog is. We shot the dog. You better watch this movie or the dog's going to die.
Yeah. So
it's like, oh God, I guess I go watch this movie. Oh Jesus.
But yeah, and I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe we don't. Nah, Crypto will be fine. Like,
he'll be fine. But I'm curious to see if they'll do anything the way they did in the comic book, where it turns out maybe Crypto was fine the whole time. Like maybe his Kryptonian like DNA kept him from actually being fully poisoned or something.
I'm gonna guess that they don't do that. I think you were right when you said that they're probably going to just make the danger be real to add stakes to the movie.
Because she says like what, they have 2 days or something like that.
Yeah, and I think we figured out that little timer thing, that little countdown clock. So a literal ticking clock. I talk about that a lot though. Like it's good for stories to have a dramatic ticking clock.
Yeah, the ticking clock has always been a great way of keeping people on their toes in anything, whether it be television. Like tell us what the entirety of 24 was. It's just constantly the ticking clock showing. And so yeah, it's like this. That's the easy way of keeping up stakes. And this with a Superman and Supergirl type story, the time being of the essence has always been Superman's actual greatest weakness than his actual like being able to be killed type of thing. Like that's why the Superman Returns game was like Superman doesn't have a health bar, the city does. His time is of the essence type of thing.
Yeah, that game had some issues, but I think that was a good idea. I mean,
I thought it was a very good idea. The only problem was that Metropolis was kind of fragile, so it was kind of a pain in the ass because you would be like, "This is so fun! I could fly and super speed," but if you super speeded in the wrong way, you would slam into a wall, and they're like, "Oh, guess Metropolis lost some health." I'm like, "Oh, come on, man! I didn't mean to." It's like, that's what you get, bud. It's like, okay, fine.
Well, just looking over the trailer one last time to see if I have any final thoughts, but there's one thing that stands out to me: Argo City. It's like skyscrapers, so it's very like metropolitan. It's very metropolis-y, I guess. But you feel like oh yeah, this is like a big city. This is like a big loss to lose all these people. It's cool to see like the Krypton architecture. It is kind of like that 1930s Art Deco style, but still kind of alien and sci-fi looking.
Yeah, I really like the fact that Krypton is still feels more like something that you would see, because the thing about the Snyder's Krypton, I will say, I liked how alien it was, but at the same time he might have overdid it, whereas in this universe, I don't know if they've overcorrecting back to like, fucking Silver Age type Krypton. But I'm fine with it, to be honest, because I like Krypton being a little more Silver Agey and like people being a little nicer to each other.
Yeah, and it's a planet that like dogs that look like Earth dogs come from. Like, I'm sorry, but like Krypton, it should be kind of similar to Earth. It should just be like advanced. They have like a lot of cool science we don't have, but it's still kind of recognized. It's not that different from a human world, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was the thing about Krypton, is it's the reason why Superman's very existence is possible, is that he looks human enough that no one once ever questioned that he wasn't human, even when he didn't have powers, type of thing. Because if Clark showed up and the man pulled his pants down and he had 3 ass cheeks, you'd be like, "There's something off about Clark Kent," type of thing. Or if he showed up with a dog that was fucking purple, you'd be like, "What the fuck's going on with your dog?"
Yeah, this is a guy who went through like 12 years of public school, and none of his teachers questioned if he was a human or not.
Yeah, he didn't like grow a 4th arm at some point.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, "Yeah, something's off about that Kent boy."
So
Just the other day, he blinked in 4 different directions, and the shit was weird.
yeah, I'm okay with it's kind of weird to me when people want to put like a lot of like strange creatures on Krypton. Like, I get it, like that's interesting aliens. Like, it is kind of boring if you go to another planet and it's just all the same animals as Earth. But they've kind of established that is Krypton. Like, it has Earth-looking animals there.
I'm fine with Krypton having both. You know what I mean? Like, I'm fine with there being like I'm fine with there being a dog that looks like a dog, but also like a giant mole thing type of thing, like something you wouldn't see on Earth, but kind of only because they probably went extinct or some shit, something like that. But as long as not everything is space, whatever it is type of thing, I think most people are usually fine with that sort of thing.
But I'm curious to see more of the DCU Krypton culture. They've talked about like this will kind of answer some questions from Superman about like why are the Kryptonians so weird in that movie. So
just once, I want them to address the message in this movie. Like, I want it to be the after credit scene of her showing up and him just being like, "Car, the craziest fucking thing happened," and he shows her the message, and she just goes, "Yeah, your parents were just weird." Like, my dad used to just say, "There goes Jor-El talking about some weird shit again." He's like, "Did you know that his mom is like really in the poly shit?" Just be like, "What?"
Yeah, that's how Lara always was.
Yeah, it's just the whole time. It's just like, "I had 12 husbands. I don't know what to tell you."
Oh, then we might have like a Superman and Lois situation where he has like some half brothers, but
I would love that, to be honest. That was such a great reveal that I wanted that to be a thing in the comic.
That was a bold fucking show. Like, they were willing to go into some radical new territory with Superman, and it worked.
So out of left field, but the entire time I'm like, I love this, how you did this so much that I have 0 issues with. If anything else had did something like that, if we were watching Zack Snyder's Superman and they went, "You have a half brother through your mom having slept with some other guy at some point," and he's actually secretly this evil newspaper mogul, you would be like, fuck off type of thing, because Snyder would never have pulled it off. You would have been like, that's just stupid. But then Superman and Lois does it, and you're just like, that's fucking brilliant. But it all comes down to execution.
Yeah.
And if anyone else did exactly that exact storyline, I probably would be fine with it now because of that. I'd be like, I want Tauro to be like canon now.
Yeah, I would be okay with it if they did that in the comics. I'd accept it. I think
Because I like the idea of a half brother. Like it's one thing if Clark has like another L all of a sudden showed up.
Yeah.
The fact that he wasn't an L is what really sold that idea to me more.
agreed.
Was that he was not related to his dad. He was related to his mom, and that was just infinitely more. It also was infinitely more interesting to the culture of Krypton, because it was the first time in Kryptonian history I ever heard of somebody getting divorced in Kryptonian culture, because she was married to Tauro's dad originally, left him for Jor-El. I was like, that is fascinating, because I've never heard of anything else in Kryptonian anything, whether it be comics, movies, games, whatever. No one's ever brought up Kryptonian divorce except for Superman and Lois.
Yeah, for all we knew, they were like Catholic and didn't believe in divorce. But
yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Yeah, Krypton's weird. I don't know.
They can be extremely weird.
They're a strange alien culture that involves many lives.
I think your mic might be loose.
Oh.
Oh wait, you sound good now. Okay.
Okay, I think I just moved away from it. This is a mic that you have to be like right on, type of thing.
But I don't think I have any other thoughts on the trailer, other than I'm still excited for this movie. I think we have like 10 or so more weeks before it comes out that we could cover some stuff to prepare for its arrival, like the Helen Slater movie, some Superman the Animated Series and JLU, and some of the comic books starring Supergirl and Lobo.
Yeah, the CW show is also on the table as well for some of that stuff as well. Yeah. We could probably do, for the Supergirl thing, there's an easy way we can do. We could do the pilot, and we can do the episodes that Superman appeared in, type of thing. That would be an easy way of doing some of those, I think, in my opinion.
Okay.
But so, yeah, we'll see what we do from here.
Yeah, we'll make a list of things.
Yeah, we will do the Spider-Man Superman one when it comes out. That'll be it. That comes out April 22nd. So we'll try to do it the following week, depending on what happens during that time frame. That makes sense to everybody.
Yeah, that's.
I am very excited. They finally announced. They finally fully announced on Ed McGuinness's Instagram, at least, his cover. Apparently, you can only get it through like a very specific fucking thing, which is kind of annoying, but I spent the money on it, so fuck it.
Well, that is annoying, but it does look really cool.
It's my favorite of the covers, because the Superman Spider-Man has a lot of awesome covers, but I only wanted the one, whereas the Spider-Man Superman ones, the majority of them I'm not super keen on. But at the same time, there's some really cool ones, but I wanted to have one I could frame very easily, because as much as I love double-sided covers, they're not easily framed. They feel more like something you'd buy as a print. That's always been my issue with those types of covers. But I'm very excited. Once I get it, I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to hang in them once I get a frame. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to put it in this office, but I'm very, very excited to have those two.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what they do next if they continue these Marvel DC crossovers. So
yeah, I'm hoping they do like maybe something with Wonder Woman, because they did something with Batman, so maybe they can do like a Wonder Woman.
Who would you team up Wonder Woman with from Marvel?
That's the tricky thing, because I wouldn't have teamed up Deadpool and Batman. So it's like it's what's interesting about it is it could be anybody. Like I don't want to say Harley Quinn, because Harley Quinn just seems like, or Harley Quinn's already a thing. No, sorry, Wonder Woman and fucking Black Cat or something. Like that would be weird, but at the same time, like not impossible. And then, but like, I think the obvious answers would be like, Lady Thor, or Jane Foster Thor,
Or even like normal Thor would still be an interesting.
yeah, normal Thor would be really cool. Hilariously left field would be Wonder Woman Hercules. That would be fucking hilarious. And then like a Hulk would also be a very left field type one, a Wonder Woman Hulk set of stories. It's tricky, yeah, because Wonder Woman doesn't fully have a Marvel equivalent the way you can easily do with some of the other ones. If that makes sense. Like, or actually no, a Wonder Woman Captain America, because I know that was a crossover story in the Batman Deadpool, but an actual full one would have been really cool too, in my opinion.
Just what came to me was Wonder Woman and X-Men, because they're both like a pretty popular title, but they're never like quite as big as like say like Spider-Man and Avengers are always going to be selling a little better than X-Men. So
that would be pretty cool, actually. That's actually one that I could see working. Because I know we've had a lot of different crossovers that are similar like that. Superman, the Fantastic Four, like actual teams teaming up with one person. I would like to see more of those, like team ups with team people instead of just the one guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want him to do more of them. The problem is some of the ones that I would like to have their own title ones were crossover ones that were already done, like Green Arrow and Daredevil is a good example of that, where they did that in the Batman Deadpool ones. Or Deadpool Batman. The problem is I don't remember. I still haven't read them, by the way. I just know they're in there. And then same with the Wonder Woman Captain America. That one I did read. That one I read. Somebody posted the excerpt from that. And so I did read that story, and that was kind of interesting.
the most obvious one to me to do would be Dr. Midnight and Daredevil as the two blind superheroes.
That would be fun. Doctor Strange, Doctor Fate would be pretty cool too.
Those dudes are too similar.
Yeah, but I mean like a backstory one, like one of the stories in the back. Like I wouldn't mind reading one of those, because they did a Doctor Strange Constantine one on one of the Batman Deadpool ones, and that was apparently pretty fun. I haven't.
Yeah, I'd want to read that. I need to get around to reading the Batman Deadpool stuff.
It's funny because I didn't know there were two of them. Like, because no one told me there were two of them until the Spider-Man, Superman ones were happening. Because Marvel went out of the way. They're going, hey, by the way, these are two separate comics. Like, I need you to know this. Because I was reading some comic store people being like, the first one we sold out within like days. The second one we ordered the same amount. Nobody came because nobody knew it existed.
Marvel's marketing is, I guess, a bigger budget and a little bit. They have more market penetration than Warner Brothers does.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. And this time they traded off, I think, on who released who's first.
Yeah, it was last time. It was Marvel went first and DC second, and now it's DC did the first of the Superman ones, Superman, Spider-Man, and so next is Marvel's Spider-Man, Superman.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading that.
Yeah, I am too, because I've always loved these two characters, and having this happen again is like, it was a dream come true. I was worried it would never happen again, but especially with the fact that Disney now owns Marvel, and WB is in this weird zone of like having money but not having money at the same time. So you're never really sure what their plans are. And so I'm curious to see if this if unlike the first time this happened, if this partnership really like lasts. So maybe if they do more of these crossovers, because there's always that one weird guy in the background going, Disney should buy WB. I'm like, no, this shouldn't be like, I want it to be a regular thing, but not a regular thing, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want the worlds to collide and then be the same.
That would be really weird. Yeah,
it wouldn't work.
I wouldn't want them to be owned by the same company just because of like, antitrust and monopolies and whatnot. But if they were, I would still want them to keep the Marvel and DC universes separate.
Yeah, and DC takes the most chances of the two of them, and it's paying off for them in dividends. And that's the other reason I don't want them to be owned by the same company, because Disney doesn't give a shit about what Marvel's up to outside of the MCU. They only pay attention to the MCU, whatever they do with the MCU. Their Spider-Man title has been down the fucking crapper for years, and nobody once has said anything to them. You think they would have by now, all things considered, but it is what it is, I guess.
Well, at least we have a lot of cool Superman slash Supergirl slash Super Family stuff coming out this year to talk about. So,
Yeah.
looking forward to more of that soon, including the Spider-Man Superman comic.
Oh, also real quick, Jack Quaid has confirmed he's doing more lines for more of My Adventures with Superman at the moment, but he has no word on anything else outside of it.
I think if it was going to come out this year, we would maybe have known something by now. So maybe that's going to be a 2028 thing.
I'm still crossing my fingers that maybe we'll hear something by the end of the year.
2027. I can't keep up with what year it is, but yeah.
I still wouldn't be surprised if it did become a 2028 thing.
That would be so fun because it would be a good excuse to go rewatch the first two. It takes 5 hours to watch a season of that show. It's a very rewatchable show.
It's very watchable. It's very short. It's also very frustrating that you can't buy the second season, and the first season's only on DVD. It's not even a Blu-ray.
I hate that.
Bothers me immensely.
But yeah, I would like to focus on My Adventures with Superman at some point. We got next week. I don't know. Maybe it'll be something Supergirl or Lobo related, but we'll get that figured out, or whenever we're back. But yeah, the next couple of months will be geared towards this new Supergirl movie. I guess we can go ahead and sign off for now, but thanks everyone for watching or listening, and until next time, as always, keep it super, y'all.